Wherever you are, I want you to stop. Just stop. If you can. If you're driving, don't drive. Just take it all in. But I need you to stop in thought. I need you to take this all in. I need you to just ask yourself one question. Have you told somebody I love you today? Have you told somebody I'm just happy that you are around me, that you are in my life? Have you hugged someone today? Told them good job, or hey, you mean a lot to me, or how important you are. If you have done that today, kudos to you. If you have not, the good news is there's still time to, because someone listening right now needs to hear these words. They need to know that they are okay, that they are cared about, that they are loved, that someone finds them to be intriguingly special. And if you can find it in your heart to simply just say, hey, I care. I see you. I hear you. It makes a world of difference. To those who are listening and are seeking out some type of confirmation, some type of need to feel that it matters, let me do my best to validate you. I love you. I've never seen you. I may have spoken to you. I may not have spoken to you. But what I have done is I've made myself available for every single conversation. So if you are one of those people who are thinking of harming yourself or harming someone else, please don't. Contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. You can call it anonymously. You don't have to tell them your name. You can just simply tell them you need to talk and get it off your chest. And if you feel that it's just too much and you need a little assistance, then reach out to me with We Need to Talk. I will get on that phone line with you, walk you through every single step, and be there as a support to you the entire way. Or maybe you just want to talk to me. I will do my best to make myself available to you. But whatever you do something that you can live with, something that we all can live with, and get help. Oh, the petty alert has been activated. The petty alert has been activated. I'm going to say it again. The petty alert has been activated because I find it intriguing how some people behind the keyboard turn into some serious thugs. They say the darndest things. It is strange because I have an open forum that allows you to come on and simply say what you want to me and have a discussion. Please exercise your right and choose. Welcome to the Field Review Podcast show where we talk all things Detroit Lions, and I'm ready to go. It's Friday. I'm doing good. I'm having a good moment. I thought the job was going to hit me up. But guess what? When I realized that my seniority was higher than the person that was there with me, cha-ching, time to move on. Let's get it, people. Welcome to the show. I got a lot of headlines I got to talk about. Some of them I thought was funny. I ain't going to lie. I thought some of them was funny. And many of them I found to just be interesting. So anytime I get these little notes and trinkets, I've often been told that I'm reaching or that I'm digging too deep into it and stuff like that. But guess what my job is to spark conversation, and not conversation that evolves around too many false news, but the idea of what's going on between the lines of a lot of these statements and things like that. So I'm not reaching. I'm just sitting here trying to have football talk with other football fans on a forum that allows for it to happen. But before we get into all the different little headlines and things like that, let's see who's in the building with us. Ghost Gunner's in the building. Nate Victor. Shout out to Micro Mike. He's in the building. Friendly Neighborhood Lions fan is in the building. Dr. Detroit's in the building. Drew, I gotta be honest. This right here had me rolling. It says, can someone explain what up, though? I love this question on so many levels, Drew. And if you join the show, I would break it down. And if not, I'm gonna give you the quick thing. It's just a way of slang that has been said in Detroit for years, sort of like what's happening or what it do and things like that. It's just slang for what's up, hello, that Detroit did. What up, though? In other words, like, what up? That's all it is. But it's still funny. He said, what is dope? Love it. Dr. Detroit, Super Saiyan Linus in the building. We got my man Detroit D in the building. We got Mark Malice in the building, Jello in the building, Antonio Jenkins, Gino, Chris Wallace, Chopper Trav. That is a dope ass name. Craig Ferguson, BD Buster, Anthony Fitzpatrick, aka Roar the Lions UK, Looney Tunes, Brandon Blockton is in the building, Lions League, which is y'all don't really know how much Lion League do for this community and for me. So hats off to this man. Cannot say it enough. Thank you, sir, for all the help and your ability to get things popping for us. You have truly been a blessing, not only to me, but to this community as well. So salute to you. We also have wait a minute, I'm gonna make sure I get this right. The real Mo Steppin Paisley. I hope I said that right. He said, I'm in the building. Shout out to Vast Starwin, One Funky Lions fan, my man D. Williams, Avatar 816, Forbidden Knowledge, James Harrington, Breeze, make sure I name is my Makai Holt. Let me see. Frank is in the building with us. Joey 2x Kobe. All right, I hit on every single person. It's opening day, and I'm talking Lions football. Yeah, I know. That's how I get down. All right. I'm a football fan. I'm going to be honest with you. Baseball is probably my third love. All right. Right after basketball. But football is my number one. All right, people. I got a lot to cover. I got a lot to cover. First of all, one of the first articles I'm going to jump to, I know people have these certain views where you're pushing this and that. Nah, I'm just having fun, having a conversation. That's all it is. Can we do that? I want to point this out because this is just funny to me. All right. So, you know what? It would help if I brought the damn article on the screen. Wouldn't that make sense? That would make so much more sense. Y'all gonna have to excuse me. All right, let me bring this damn article up because I thought this was funny. Now, I don't know if y'all watch Woodward Sports Network, but many of us do. And if you don't, shame on you, right? Many of us do. So I saw this headline. I've been trying to figure out if I wanted to dive into this or not, if I wanted to stay away from it, but I saw the headline, right? And I'm like, okay, where are we going with this? NFL draft, the dumbest argument against Notre Dame Kyle Hamilton just happened. Like, I saw this. Again, I was nervous. Now, I want you to look at this. They literally reference. They literally reference the bottom line views, Braylon Edwards, and I'm drawing this damn blank on his name. Well, I'll read it. It'll come up anyway. All right. Ryan Armani. There you go. All right. It says the leader to the NFL draft always produces some of the worst takes ever uttered against the college football players seeking to be selected by the league. On Monday, one take in particular about Notre Dame Kyle Hamilton is about as bad as it gets. Woodward Sports' Ryan Armani is adamant that the Detroit Lions should absolutely not take Kyle Hamilton with the second overall pick because he watched a lot of Notre Dame games and Hamilton never took over a game or shut anything down. Now, I'm going to show you what's funny about this. I'm pretty sure that the person who wrote this article got to be a Notre Dame fan, or maybe they just a Kyle Hamilton fan. They got a little more shady, is the word that my wife will use. They says Braylon Edwards, a former Michigan Wolverine receiver and NFL flop himself. What? What is this about? Why the attack? Why is everybody so angry? It's Friday. The NFL flop himself says that Notre Dame players just don't pan out in the NFL, and former Irish safeties especially don't, and produce Glenn Earl, Jerome Sepp, and Tom Zembowski as examples. While I can sit here and repeat the whole poking that happened on Twitter, I'm just going to drop a few of them gems here. All right, I mean, they really pissed some people off. This man are having a conversation about an imaginary Kyle Hamilton that they've created in their mind, which isn't surprising since they also don't know who Harrison Smith is. Uh-oh. Now, anybody who do this know that you're going to get criticized. That's normal. It's cool. It's normal. I'm starting off with this for a reason because it's going to lead into a bigger part of what I'm doing. It said, did he really say Notre Dame players don't pan out in the NFL? One of them responded. He sure did. Kyle Hamilton is the one guy that, he does not want the Lions to take a number 2. And he responded with, if you add up all the Pro Bowls of former Michigan Wolverines currently in the NFL who played college ball this century, it doesn't equal the 6 Harrison Smith has been to. Ouch. But knowing that this is going down, Braylon Edwards not afraid to come back. He responds, first of all, at Tom Brady, so relax. Second of all, this has nothing to do with Michigan. The take was about Kyle Hamilton. Since you have so much to say, name another Notre Dame player. Like I said, Kyle Hamilton is a good player, not at 2 with a 4.58. Somebody responded. Said this point about Notre Dame safeties is a straw man, isn't it? If Harrison Smith had popped in your mind, you wouldn't have made that argument because I'd be silly wanting to make it. Now, I'm just showing all this because I want you to understand something. I made a few takes myself that I made from observations. I made posts on community posts, and I talked about a host of different things. And one of the things that I said is the likelihood of us drafting a quarterback is growing bleaker and bleaker every day. And I really believe that because of the statements like this. Campbell on a number 2 pick, you want a guy who can come in and he's a day 1 starter. Now, I don't know what many people take from the idea day 1, not year, not day year, 1 year. No, it's day 1 starter. That's really what you're trying to acquire. You'll like to think that by the time you hit your first game, this player is starting for you, and he's going to be able to produce, right? This is what Dan Campbell is saying. So I'm like, okay. And, and so I got to just looking at different stuff. And then I see this damn article. So I post this one too. Detroit Lions Dan Campbell, I don't think you need an elite quarterback to win big in the NFL. And again, I post this on a community post. And immediately I get told that I'm reaching and that there's other things that have been talked about, like why you ain't bringing up this and you're not bringing up that. Like all of this good stuff, right? Now, keep in mind, these are all things that I know that I'm going to be criticized about. I'm perfectly fine with it. In fact, I would expect for people to be critical of me. To not be critical of me would mean that I'm not doing my job. I totally get it, right? So I see this part from my man Dan Campbell, and I make my statement. Hey, it's probably not going to happen. Then you have people like Brad Holmes who talks about, hey, we want a game changer, right? We're looking for game changers out here in these streets, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing else, nothing more. So I got all these different pieces, and I'm putting them together. And then this right here happens, right? I want to make sure I do this. I want to make sure I get this up here because this next article comes up, and I immediately realize what the hell happened. Detroit Lions continue to send mixed messages about future of quarterback position. And when you read this particular article, it comes down here, and you gotta just read it for what it is, right? But again, this is something that might be a little behind a paywall. There's ways around it. I'm not going to tell you that. Don't want to get in no problems. It says the Detroit Lions like Jared Goff. You don't have to take my word for it either. Just listen to them talk about their quarterback situation, and they'll tell you. I mean, look, I like Goff. Head coach Dan Campbell said on Thursday while taking a break from draft meetings inside the team's headquarters. I like where he's at. I thought he finished strong last year. I'm glad we got him this year, right? And even if I took that information and shared it, people would still say, oh, Luke, you just looking into it. You reaching, blah, 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 blah. Now, I did do my thing to see the whole article, but I can't do that. I just did some things. I may or may not did some things, but I may or may have. I'm just going to leave it at that way. All right. And then it gets me to this point where I realized what happened. The Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, came out and opened his mouth too damn soon, too damn much. Okay? Too damn soon, too damn much. When he brought up the idea of the quarterback, when he said the following statement, that I don't think you need an elite quarterback to win big in the NFL. And he follows it up with, no, I don't think you need that, Campbell says. I think that those guys like that are obviously, they are special. and they certainly can give you a better chance. But no, I don't believe you have to have one of those guys to have sustained success. I got told that I was pushing a false agenda for Kyle Hamilton and that everything goes. Here's my response to that. The stories that are written can be a number of things. They can be coach talk. They can be fake news. They can be things that are not true. Your job as the reader is to actually read between the damn lines. It's actually to understand, what are they trying to do? What is the objective here? Every book has an objective. If you ever read anything, there's an objective to it. Go and read a book on lotions. It's on different types of lotions and fragrances and stuff like that. There's an objective to it. And when Dan Campbell opened his mouth up with this statement right here, saying that he don't believe that you need an elite quarterback, on top of what Rod Wood already said, he essentially destroyed any myth that would have a trade partner for them. They this entire time have made it so good that we didn't know if they were going to take a quarterback or not. And then they backpedal and go, oh yeah, that doesn't mean that he's not still in the running for it. D. Williams, I said the Patty alert is on. I ain't tell you you're going to be Patty. Luke, did you use a ketchup bottle to distract the paywall to sneak around it? I don't know nothing about no ketchups, and I don't know nothing about it. But there's a way around it. Now, Joel C. makes a very good point. Dan is too honest, and that's why he faked illnesses at the owner meeting and why they haven't released the video of him talking, because his ass is too honest. And when he said that he don't think you need an elite quarterback and that he loves Jared Goff and happy to have him, he means it. He means every bit of it. He's not faking that. He truly means it. The fact that he has the support of not only the general manager, but Rod Woods and everybody else who you ask this question to tells me that he's not doing this. He's not. So now the question becomes, does this really eliminate it? No, but it definitely fucks up your chances of making trades. Because if I don't believe that you're going to take a quarterback, now how do I do it? Well, they got to now try to sell that they got other offers for people that want to trade up for quarterbacks. I'm almost sure that in the next coming weeks, we're going to hear some story of somebody saying that, the Lions have trades for people who want to move to get a quarterback. It's coming. These are the narratives. That's what's happening. Everybody wants to go and say who's right and who's wrong, and they love telling me how wrong I am. I enjoy every bit of it. That's why I have an open forum for you to have a discussion with me. But these headlines caught my attention because now it becomes even more clear. And I'm going to tell you why. If you watched the In the Den episode, which I did, and I had to watch it on slow-mo because there was a number of conversations that I wanted to keep up with. The first one you see was the formal interview. And you show the camera on Aaron Glenn. And Glenn says, what can we count on? This is a question he's asking, right? He said, I love telling, Dr. Detroit loved telling me I'm damn wrong. When he agreed, it's probably not good for people. Frank Luke loves to catch up so much, he devil fists it like Campbell with his car. Nah, brother, I don't mess with no catch up. Catch up bad for you. Now, Marcel says, Dan isn't wrong. I see it from the draft trade downside of it. But as far as what he said, he ain't wrong. I agree. He's not wrong. And then I started digging more. So I get to this damn video and he says, what can we count on? And then he says, if we draft you, what can we count on? Now, they don't let you hear what the person is saying, but then Dan Campbell then turns around and asks the question that says, or what are you going to do to whoever this draft person is? Now we start to get a little bit more into it. It says, for this from Aaron Glenn, what's the best thing you do? And then you get Mr. Walsh, who comes in and say, well, which they clearly they already had the interview. They go, well, he plays his ass off. Glenn responds, this dude intrigues me as a pass rusher. Oh shit. So that right there is the first indicator that they were clearly interviewing a pass rusher. The question is, who? Who was the pass rusher that they were interviewing? What did they see? And if you look at some of the things that they blurred out, we'll get into that. Then the next question from Watch was, then you go to the other games and you go, and Mr. Aaron Glenn cuts him off and say, very little power. Oh, snap. Now, if you know anything about this game, if you just got to simply go through and do the process of elimination, which means that somebody that they're looking at, they got some question marks. Now, many of us are going to speculate that is Thibodeau. Some of us may speculate that is probably Trayvon Walker. And others may speculate that it is Aiden Hutchinson. I think they were interviewing Jermaine Johnson. Why? Because when you watch his tape, you will see flashes of him getting around people. But when he needs to take on somebody, there is no power behind it. That's just my observation. That's my hypotheses. I know I'm going to get criticized for it, but I think they were interviewing Jermaine Johnson. I'll keep going. He then responds, I'm interested to see what his dominant trait is on tape. And I'm thinking, okay. He says, I like what he says, like, what do I do best? Should be the question we ask about him. He says, I mean, some of his pass rush skills, his bend and all that. And I went, okay. So I thought, okay, it's Jermaine Johnson. So now I got to throw another suspect in there. He talked about that bend and all that pass rush moves. The term that got me was, I mean, some of his pass rush skills. Pass rush skills. There's a very few people in here who got pass rush skills, but George Karlaftis has the most of the pass rush skills. And then I thought, but he doesn't have issues with power. So they're branching together two different formal interviews to have us see it. So now I got two suspects, George Karlaftis and I got Jermaine Johnson, which tells me that the Lions might seriously be in a position to trade down and want to look at other options. Just stay with me. Just stay with me. And one funky Lion fan says, I think they might like Arnold. I cannot pronounce dude's last name, but I ain't going to play myself like that. I'm just saying. Now, this right here is the other reason why I thought about Jermaine Johnson, because he was on that Senior Bowl team. And if you know anything about Brad Holmes and you look at that team with the Rams, they have quite a few Senior Bowl players on there. They live to die in the Senior Bowl because they like those players. They get the close hands looks, and they get scouts there to kind of take an eye or look at certain things, and they like it. Now, Joel C says, but Luke, how do you know you're not getting baited? Could be different player cut together. That's what I'm saying. I think it is different players cut together. So I'm trying to put the puzzle together, and I'm just following it in the order they did it. So it says it's been in all that unfreaking believable. Now, this little detail, when you talk about Ben, there's a few players I think really do this, and this lends itself to other people who I've seen do a good Ben, like Boye Mafe, right? So now I got three suspects. I'm just giving it to you on how I'm trying to figure this out. But then Dan Campbell says the following. We need football players, man. Spielman says he's a football player. And then then Campbell says, is he a smart football player that knows what he says, is he smart? Know what the hell is going on. They bleeped out the hell part, but obviously we know what he's saying. And then Glenn says he had the finest position I've seen so far. Oh, snap. So two things that I took from that was they're clearly trying to come up with a profile for these players. All right. Just Joe, I don't want to say it's catch up. Shout out to you, sir. But then he goes, oh yeah, okay. Glenn says like he's a playmaking. It says like he's in playmaking spots every time. So I know that they got different cut-ups. I know this. And then he says the following. This is them watching the tape at the combine. They're watching the tape and watching the workouts. And Spielman says when he blitzes or plays the run, and I thought, well, hold up. Let me go back to the drawing board. I don't remember seeing nobody blitz too often. The edge rusher, they just rushing. So who could they be talking about? Could it be a safety? Right? And then, you know, Brad Holmes said that we're looking for a game changer, and game changer can be at any other position. But then he talks about this right here. This comes from Aaron Glenn. He's more natural. Pleasant. RB Pleasant now speaks. Oh, it's not even close. Now, I'm doing this based on the players in the room. And at this point, with the players in the room, You got Aubrey Pleasant. They're talking about a guy blitzing, always been in playmaking spot. That is 100%. I'm telling you, that's Kyle Hamilton. We can toss that one right there to the side. My 3 suspects for the pass rusher that they was questioning kind of gets more deep in, but then I'm going to use this article on the screen to explain to you why my 3 suspects are standing out. So Spielman says it's like, just to show y'all why I think they was looking at Kyle Hamilton here, Spielman says it's like 2 different players. Like I'm watching 2 different guys. Really? What one guy you look at and feel like they're 2 different players? That kind of lends itself to me in a way that they looking at that safety spot. Now, Pleasant says after that, it's going to be what did he run and how does he play? Okay. Why you ask that question? Because the only player that they kept constantly talking about is they want to see him run was Kyle Hamilton. Most of the players that everybody want to see run, but nobody was more questioned about what they're going to run. And RB Pleasant brought this up by saying it's going to be what did he run and how does he play? It says, okay. Campbell says, no doubt. Then Glenn says it's going to be interesting to see what his 10 is, aka the 10-yard split. In other words, they're anticipating the players that they want to have fast 10-yard splits. I tried to go and see if I can find the 10-yard splits. It was a little bit challenging, but I found one of them that was pretty decent, and his name was Devin Lloyd. And then I started saying, oh, shit, okay. I think they want to trade down. I think they want to trade down in a place where they can still get all their picks early on within that range of 1 in the top 10, 1 in the top 20, between that 10 to 20 area, and then that 32 pick. I think they're trying to do that. Now, this statement really got my attention because he says, this is what we got to do, you guys. We got to identify these guys that we love. Stack the board, and then we just start targeting and let Brad go to work. That's what we got to do. So that tells me that they're already letting each other know that whoever we take needs to be who we love. Forget what everybody else thinks. Who do you love? And we get to this article right here, where Dan Campbell reveals some of the things that he wants, where he literally says a day 1 starter, right? And he says, let me get right here to the other quote. Let me find it. Where the hell it go? Oh, wait, did I bring up the wrong article? I probably freaking did. Dang it. The things that happen when you move too fast. All right. So I look at this like this. Here are your suspects right now in terms of a strong possibility. If they're stuck at 2 and Aiden Hutchinson is there with Kyle Hamilton, they're going to be between a rock and a hard place. It is not going to be an easy decision. If Kyle Hamilton is, if Aiden Hutchinson is gone, I don't care who's there. I think they still take Kyle Hamilton. I could be wrong. However, I think that they're anticipating that if the guy that they want, they'll be willing to trade down some to where they can still get Kyle Hamilton probably at 5, maybe get down to like 8 if he lasts that long. But because I think 8 was the Falcons pick, I want to say. And I started getting real curious. Now, this is when I'm going to have me a little bit of fun, right? I decided, thanks to me just want to be curious about the life force, right? I decided to kind of look at some things. And I wanted to look at who did we visit this year. And so far, we've met with Treylon Burks. We met with him at the Combine. We met with him at the Combine. Where else? You know what? Hold on. Let me go back. I got to go to my notes, people. Having notes makes a lot of a difference. All right. So they met with him at the Combine, and they had a private visit with him. And then they also met with Nakobe Dean, where they had a private visit with him. And then they met with Ali Fayed, which is an outside linebacker from Western Michigan, which is a very intriguing prospect brought to my attention by Mr. Who, William Burke. Shout out to my co-host. They met with that guy and a private visit. Then they met with Ahmad Gardner in a private visit. They met with George Karlaftis at the Combine. And they met with Thibodeau at his pro day, a private visit, and at the Combine. They met with Trayvon Walker at a private visit and at the pro day. And Malik Willis, they met with him at the Combine, right? Stay with me. I started to put this whole little formula together because I wanted to kind of figure out some things. And the reality is not only did the Lions tip their hand, I think that Joel C. was right, that they had to shut Dan Campbell down because he was messing up the church's money. I went back to last year and I looked at all of their visits. They met with Penei Sewell one time. One time, according to NFL TR, they met with him one time, and that was at the Combine. He did not hear from them after that realistically. They did send somebody out to the pro day, but did not talk to him. So I said, oh, okay. But where did they give a lot of visits to? Well, that's funny. They sent a lot of visits to Zach Wilson's pro day. Something very similar, or a lot of scouts to his pro day, something they did very similar with other people, like the Michigan and stuff like that. And we know that they was there looking at other prospects, but definitely looking at the main ones. And this brings me to my final conclusion, which tells me that not only have I found the pattern where they have a tendency to send a bunch of people there as a smokescreen, but that the people that they really want, they don't talk to because they believe they have enough information. So if you were wondering some of the people that they visited with last year, which I did look up, Braden James, Anthony Swartz, Zach Wilson, Michael Parsons, who they told, hey, we're taking you at 7. Ironically enough, you know, the Dallas Cowboys told Jalen Ramsey they were taking them at 4 when they decided to go the route of people of Ezekiel Elliott. They talked to Jeremy Fowler, and they talked to Kadarius Toney last year. They talked to Asante Samuel Jr. And Peyton Ramsey. And I started to realize the pattern. We got to start looking at who they didn't talk to, people. We got to start looking at who they're not visiting with and showing up big time for. Now, could this pattern be wrong? Yes. But I am trying my best to take all of these clues to figure out what the hell they're doing before they do it. Not to be first, not to be right, but because it's intriguing as hell to cipher through it and break the Brad Holmes code. You have to be able to break the Holmes code. And that's what I'm doing. Now, he said, I bet the Cowboys want that one back. They was happy with him. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my link in the video so you can jump in and tell me I'm batshit crazy. You get a chance to disrespect on every level respectfully, though, and just say, hey, I think you're overlooking this or you're reaching. It's not me just reaching. It's me asking questions and trying to figure out how far we're going. I think the Lions are sold on Kyle Hamilton. I think the Lions really have more questions for other prospects than they do for Kyle Hamilton. I think the 40 don't matter. The reason I think the 40 don't matter is because when you look at some of the people who will compare, measurable-wise at least, to him, there are some people who have served very well for their teams. And you look at the people who did great at the Combine. Mind you, I'm quoting an article of Kyle Hamilton, and this is not a video to support and push Kyle Hamilton for those who are hard of hearing. This is me trying to do some investigative work to figure out what the hell is going on. But in the interim, you look at some of the people who had a better performance with the same measures. Y'all remember that guy, George Iko from Boise State? Remember that guy? Remember him? He was one of the guys that was 6'4", 225, and ran a 4.66. And many people were arguing, but he didn't do so great. And you remember J-Ron Curse, a guy who was on the Lions and went over to the Cowboys and had a somewhat success. He was 6'4", 216 at the time that he ran, and he ran a 4.26, right? But then you start to go through the list. You start to look at some of the other people who was big, like Steve Atwater. And some of y'all may not remember Steve Atwater, but I remember him very well. That guy was not human at most times, and I love me some Steve Atwater. But he was 6'3". Yes, I know it's not 6'4", but he was 6'3.5". So take his 1/2 and make it 4. How about that? He was 212, and he ran a 4.63, and he did a phenomenal job. And according to that, the combine numbers in pro days was still better than his. And then on top of that, you have Sean Taylor, who was 6'2". I know, but he was 230, and obviously he ran a 4.51, which, you know, not that big of a huge difference, but big enough. And I think that the Lions have come to the conclusion that if we're stuck at 2, because I think that with Brad Holmes saying that based on this, we have so many people. Okay, we have so many people. I am thinking that the Lions are trying to trade that pick with the idea that we're going to be able to still get our guy and get capital. And that is Kyle Hamilton. The only other player that I think that they would target outside of that are people like George Karlaftis if they can get back-to-back picks in close area. That's my guesstimation. Feel free to jump in and call me crazy. Let's bring in Crimson Shadow and Drew to call me out on my stuff and tell me I have lost my damn mind. Crimson, what's going on, sir?
What's up, man?
Man,
no, I don't think you're out of your mind. I don't. I think it can go either way, but we're still trying to crack the Brad Holmes code. I mean, it's not as easy. I mean, let's be fair. Bob Quinn was pretty easy to crack.
Now, William Birch points out this, and I love when people bring this stuff up. They love to tell me where people was drafted. So I decided to play a little devil's advocate. You remember a guy named I don't know, Benny Blaze? You remember that guy?
Yeah, I recall. Benny Blaze.
Yeah, he was taken 3rd overall. You know how big Benny Blaze was?
Wait, he was the 3rd overall pick?
Oh yeah, by the Detroit Lions.
Really?
Yo,
yeah. Was there any articles back then giving them crap for taking a safety 3rd overall?
Don't remember if there were.
Completely different game.
That's the argument that they did say that, it's a completely different game. Let's fast forward, right? Cam Chancellor is another guy. Shout out to you. My man William came in here. He ready to talk some stuff. I'm all for it. Cam Chancellor is also another guy who comes into the rankings of it. Now, keep in mind, this is not about Kyle Hamilton. This is about the perception that the Lions are starting to take and the stand that they're taking on if they should or should not. That is what we're talking about. So I found this beautiful article, which is they call the Fan Nation, aka Irish Breakdown. Let me bring that up for the good people. And this article also helped me realize some things that I didn't think of too, which I said, hey, that's fair enough. Now, let me just say something, people. I think that I could be all over the place, but sometimes you got to throw a rock in the pond to see if it hits anything. And I'm just telling you that at the end of the day, we're just all trying to break this code. Drew, what do you think? Have I lost my damn mind? Am I crazy?
No,
because I mean, it's the den. I had to literally watch it in slow mo. Like, wait a minute, and then I left this one important piece of information out. Mm-hmm. I have a very nice TV. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. This TV is very nice. I see things that I probably should not be able to see. I was watching True Lies the other day, and I seen stretch marks on Jamie Lee Curtis's booty, and I was like, I never remember saying that when I was younger, but apparently this TV highlights every freaking thing. Now, I say that to say this. When I tell you I have a nice TV, I can see things. I have a nice TV. I watched that damn thing on this TV, and if you look at the picture that they blurred out, it looks like that might be a yellow to blue uniform or gold to blue uniform. That's how it looks to me. I could be wrong. But Drew, what do you think?
I don't think it's crazy at all to assume that the Lions would zero in on Kyle Hamilton, especially if the draft were to go chalk at number 1, where Hutchinson does go number 1 overall. You definitely want to have a plan in place, and they do seem like, especially coming off that first season, that they're an extremely prepared front office. So they're going to do their due diligence on a bunch of players. Kyle Hamilton makes a ton of sense to do your research on. I don't think you're crazy.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I want to make listen, because I got some strong critics. I'm trying to figure out who is this guy that they want that's a game changer. I'm trying to figure out who is the guy that has to be a day one starter. If you take Aiden Hutchinson, is he a day one starter? Yes. Many of you would say he has to be, right?
Yes.
He has to be. And we all would agree that. I would agree with you. He has to be a day one starter. If you take Tibbs, he has to be a day one starter, which means who in the hell are you sitting down?
Well, there's no one at 2 that you can take that you can make the argument they shouldn't start. I mean, Malik Willis is the only guy.
I would make the argument that he should start. because you don't have time to wait for a person to figure out if they are that guy.
It's not like we're in a position to do it.
Which is another good point. Now, to be in all fair, I'm going to give William his chance because William brought the point, but that guy was taken in the 7th round. William, I've lost my mind. Tell me, I'm going crazy. I'm trying to break the code. I don't care what nobody says. They can say I'm reaching. They can say I flew off the cuckoo's nest. I don't care. The goal is to crack what this man is saying. He's putting out a lot of stuff out there, and every time he says something, his head coach contradicts him. This is a very telling sign to me that not only does Dan Campbell know that who he's sure of who he wants, but Brad Holmes is like, I'm going to need you to let me handle the PR stuff. You just need to fall back. I'm just saying. What are your thoughts, William? It doesn't matter what your thoughts are. I'm
Brandon Smith sucks too.
I'm joking. Go ahead, brother. I'm joking. Go ahead.
To me, the fun of the draft is more like not worrying about what they're going to do. I can't predict how motherfuckers going to act. I can't tell what other people are going to do. I just like seeing how they like. My thing is going to be whoever we pick. I want to figure out why we picked them and where they're putting.
But they're telling you though. They're literally telling you. Day one starter, a guy who's smart, know what's going on. They're giving you nuggets all over the place.
If they're being truthful,
I think they are being truthful.
Well, I mean, you got to take into account that like it is technically lion season right now, right? So
I'm just saying. All right, let me bring in another guest real quick before I get to you, Anthony. This I've not seen this name on here, and I'm excited to see new people. Chris Wallace has joined us. What's going on, Chris?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Not bad, not bad. Go ahead and tell me I've lost my batshit mind. I'm all for it today.
I wouldn't say that.
What do you think? I mean, just look at some of the evidence. We want a game-changer player. They asked him about the quarterback, and he says they asked him about why do teams take quarterbacks, offensive line, and edge rushers always in the top of the draft, and he explained why, but he said there are game changers at other positions. That was not the question, Brad. This is when I know when some people are just not good at lying, and Brad and MCDC are not those people. They're not good at lying. Neither was Bob Quin, who
not at all.
What do you think that they're referring to? What player do you think this is leading to? Because I really want to know why we took him on top of what he said, but I think I know why.
Well,
I want to know when. Go ahead.
I think somebody hit on it when they said it could be multiple players because, like what I said the last time, I really believe that our narrative is not picking that too, because we have so many teams that like the Saints trade that they just did with who was that? Who just made that big trade?
The Eagles.
Yeah, that was crazy. But see, they're trying.
That was a smart trade, though.
And that was smart.
At the first.
And then not only that, if the Saints know that they trying to get a quarterback, see, the other teams already know. We don't care what the hell the Lions say. They not about to draft a quarterback.
There's no point.
They've went full throttle on that, destroying that damn narrative, and now they're trying to backpedal to myself. Oh, it's still in play.
That shouldn't have never been the narrative. I don't know who started that. Maybe it was Salty or somebody. I don't know.
No, Salty. I think Salty didn't want. I thought Salty wanted.
He wanted Malik,
he wanted Thibodeau. I thought, right? I could have sworn it was Thibodeau.
Yeah, but it was kind of too obvious we weren't going to pick a QB. I mean, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
now, if it was next year, now you would probably have, a conversation or a situation where that could possibly be it. But honestly, dude, I think that he wasn't specific. What he was doing to me was bringing up a bunch of different players that they have in mind, and he was just feeding them stuff like, we like somebody at this or a person that can do this. Because honestly, anybody that you pick, if you're picking that too, is it gonna have to be a game changer. It don't matter if it's a defensive tackle, a left tackle, or end. Like they're gonna everybody's definition of a game changer is different. So it's not like he's lying, you know what I'm saying? Because I might value a safety more and say that's a game changer, but other people might be like, well, no, that's not a game changer at all. We need a linebacker.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong?
Whenever I see Drew shake his head, Drew is like, "What the hell did you just say, Drew?"
I mean, hey, to be fair, that comment I just saw on the Super Saiyan line, he spoke the freaking truth there. If Cal Hamilton was a Michigan player, everybody would be clamoring for him.
I mean, they talk
I
about
know
Luke hates every Michigan player.
Okay, now this right here is not true. This is not true. Okay, I just simply said that the Michigan players that y'all love, y'all have lost y'all mind on. Y'all think Dax Hill is a safety. He's a slot corner. Okay, he is not a safety.
He is not no safety. He can't.
I don't see it. So that's all I'm saying. And every year I got to go through this. I mean, I don't care who the Michigan player is. If he played good at Michigan, we got to take. I remember people really wanted Mike Hart. He could be our power back. I'm like, or he could not be on this team. How about that? Drew, you wanted to respond to something that Chris said, and Gunnar, I get you next. You want to respond to something? Oh, wait, hold on. I got to shout my brother out. I got to shout him out right here. Shout out to my brother right here, Lions Rumble 81. What up, though?
Yes, sir.
Drew, you shook your head as he said something, and you not only did you shake your head, you dropped it. You had to collect yourself. It was too much. What did he say that caught your attention?
First of all, no disrespect to Chris. The idea that I think that you could pick a linebacker in the 3rd round this year and he'd be the best linebacker on the team. So
right.
So I mean, pick him in the 3rd. That's the only way that I approach. I approach the draft from a very, very positional value orientation.
You know what? If you could see my face, I'm having your reaction.
I know.
The positional that positional value stuff is a ruse.
It's not a ruse.
Okay, if positional, hold on, wait. If positional value is not a ruse, how does Tom Brady go in the 6th round?
Well, first thing, it was prior to the current CBA, which is when this stuff basically got going because they changed the way that rookie contracts work, and now rookie quarterbacks on their first deal are the most valuable asset on any team in the NFL.
Fair enough, but we just going back through history.
Sure.
If there's still positional value, the value don't change. We've seen the history of the draft change where copycats have happened.
Sure.
And I'm saying, why didn't Tom Brady go higher?
I don't know or care.
I mean, he split what was it? He split half his senior season with another guy.
Yeah, Michigan.
It was literally only a pot fly out of Bill Belichick noticing the guy's name still on the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
He barely made the team too. He barely made the first.
Yeah.
Hey, but can I clarify something real quick?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So look, what I meant, Drew, by that in my head, dude, I don't feel like we're stuck at 2nd. So I'm never, unless I know for a fact, I'm still because I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. If we are stuck at 2nd, then if, like he said, I figure if Hutchinson is not on the board, then it's going to be Hamilton regardless. I would not be mad at that pick. It makes the most sense out of what we need in the players available, where I feel that'll give us, good upside. I mean, we got so much draft capital anyway. So
yeah. To be
all
honest,
of them guys is going to have to do their part when whoever we draft.
That's right. Take it all in, Drew. Mm-hmm. Do not get confused.
I'm happy to stand on this island by myself. No, but what he said is smart, right? What he said is smart.
Drew must have forgot Jared.
You should evaluate what other situations can come up during the draft, and what Chris said is correct. If the Lions are picking at 12 as opposed to 2, that is a different set of scenarios. It's a different set of players, and you have to be open to figuring out what is going to be the best value and fit for your team.
I mean,
and that's where I approach it from.
You can make that argument, but then we go back to the 2019 draft with T.J. Hawkinson, and everyone was
you shouldn't have taken
him. He's not.
Wait.
We go back
they want to add Oliver. You gonna tell me you'd rather have Ed Oliver? And they wanted that.
I don't want to take a tight end in the top 10. I mean, that has not worked out.
You don't take Ed Oliver. You take Justin Simmons.
Right.
Just because he's coming off a bad ACL, we weren't winning that year anyways. I mean,
wait. Did you say
T.J. Hawkinson has not played like a top 10 pick?
Wait, let me go back. 9 drink. I see you back there. Did you say that a guy was hurt? We should have took him 7th overall.
Justin Jefferson or Justin Simmons or Sorry, Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Simmons.
Simmons.
There we
Yeah,
go.
Jeffrey
That's what I
Simmons
was looking for.
from Tennessee.
Yeah, you thought we should have
Yeah.
took him?
Yeah,
Okay.
because he was a top 5 value.
Would
He
you
was
Wait,
already a
over
top 5 player.
TJ?
ACL and then dropped into the late mid rounds. Now Tennessee prospered because of him.
Yeah, he balling over there.
Okay. Well,
I mean, the positional value argument to me is like, if you guys don't believe in it, that's fine. Then we can have a team of like fullbacks, tight ends, safeties, defensive tackles, and punters that you're paying $15 million a year.
Wait, hold on. Keep in mind, positional value does not mean that you just go out and you select willy-nilly. It means that you also have to look at certain things. Like, let's say, for example, right, let's just say, and if, for one, let me put this out here, study the game, said the Tom Brady take is so played out. I know, that's why I use it. I told you the patty alert was on. That's at the beginning of the video. I did say that. I said the patty alert was on. Now, I'm just saying. And Gunner, I mean, Anthony, I guess you next, and then Gunner, I guess you. Then I'll bring you on 2 9 drinks. Don't go nowhere. Stay with me. We're gonna get into all of this. But yeah, study the game. That's why I did. I was being patty. Like my real belief about positional value is positional value is cool. I don't, that's cool if you want to believe into that. However, if I have a guy and this is not my words, this is Dan Campbell's words. If I have a guy that I truly love and believe in, I don't care where I take him or what your positional value thoughts are. If he comes in, I love him and he performs, who cares?
Cool.
Right? That's like the way all we want is a player to perform. If we took Calvin Johnson at freaking the 7th round, he did the same performance, we would still be happy. Would nobody say, "Oh, you got positional value"? I never hear about position.
Yes, you would if the argument was you got Calvin Johnson in the 7th round.
But nobody talked about positional value outside of the 1st round.
It's best player available.
You should.
Calvin Johnson was the best.
There's
player
no such
available.
thing as best player available. Position is always taken into account when you're drafting a player.
All right, hold on.
Now when the Ravens got Terrell Suggs, they still had a whole host of edge rushers.
No, they did.
I mean, like you can find one individual example. Sure, that's great.
Who did they have?
It was either him or C.J. Mosley.
No. Oh, you talking about C.J. Mosley? Yeah, the linebacker. But look, he's gone though.
But when they got one of the two, they were already stacked at that position. But because they got that person, they got an immediate starter who was younger.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you talking about Patrick Quin?
Can we pull up Benny Blade's draft actually and see who the heck was taken before him? Can we get examples here?
Oh, we could. Give me
sure,
one
let's
second.
go back to 1986 or whatever it is. That
88. Don't be disrespectful.
Why not?
Yeah. Don't be disrespectful.
Hey, 42 years or whatever it is.
That's what I'm just saying.
That seems relevant.
1986.
We bringing in 9 drinks today. 9 drinks. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, good to be here.
Do I hear a train or is that just me?
Yeah,
that's me.
Oh, that's you? You get the train love? All right. 9 drinks. Welcome to the show.
Hey, appreciate it.
All right. So, what do you got? Have I lost my mind? Do you think that we can correct the Brad Holmes code, or you think I'm just losing my mind and shouldn't even worry about it? I really want to know how to freaking understand what he's talking about.
I completely trust in Brad Holmes. I completely trust him. I know he's going to go either Kessler Hutchinson, and he's going to go Brisker number 2, and number 3 is going to be Christian Walker at 34.
Well, you totally destroyed my narrative. Wasn't expecting you to go that far down the road, but since you did go that route, not mad at you one bit. Okay, why do you think that's going to be the order it's going to happen?
I see it happening that way. It could be Christian Walker before Brisker, just because you don't know what the Jags are going to do at 33, but I really think that's their top needs.
So let me ask you a question. You think the top need is pass rusher first, and then linebacker second is what you said? No, you said safety because you said Brisker, right?
Right, correct.
Okay, and then at the Brisker, you said Christian Watson, or was it linebacker? I thought it was.
No, it was Christian Watson.
I heard Watson.
Okay, I want to make sure I'm keeping up now. I'm doing like 3 things. So okay, all right. Let me ask you a question. Would you trust in him cold-heartedly? If he didn't do it that way, would you still hold that same faith in him?
Yeah, I trust in Brad Holmes. I could see the linebacker going somewhere in there too.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm not mad. I am not mad. Anthony, what are your thoughts on this? Have I lost my shit? I mean, did I mess up the church's money? What happened? What are your thoughts on this?
I think we're going through a lot of smoke and mirrors at this moment in time. You know, just take a look at what's happened since. I mean, at the end of the season, we were talking about Kayvon being the pick that we were going to make, and then all this stuff about him came out. Then we were going to take Aiden in the draft, and then all of a sudden the Jags keep Cam, their left tackle. They bring in Brendan Scherf, and then Trayvon Walker comes into the equation after the combine and his performance there, and he's the pick at number 2. And then Malik Willis is the pick at number 2 from out of nowhere. You see where I'm going with this? We've gone through the entire cycle of players now possible, and we're back to Kayvon again now. We've been to his pro day. We've spent 7 people there. You know, for the life of me, I've spent all season looking at college football, trying to analyze these guys, and for love nor money, I have no idea what they're going to do. They've been through everybody, and for me, this here, it's all still smoke and mirrors. You know, you're getting the starter in there. They're going to come in. You can't rule out a quarterback, because if they do go a quarterback at 2, they trade Goff's ass and he's gone and start him. It doesn't have to be that way. I just don't trust a word they say. I just think they're just kicking up as much smoke as they can, so no one has any idea what they're doing. Get the trade interest in there. We've literally been through everybody. But
I think that many of those interview questions that you hear them asking are for people at pick 32, which tells me that something happened, or they have a certain idea at 2 that's dictating the 32 pick. And we already know quarterback out of it. I feel really confident in saying that quarterback is out of the mix.
Blew that up.
Right? Like I don't see it.
I can fight back on that. No, I'm playing.
What? I was like, what? Wait a minute, what? What are you saying?
If anything, 3rd round, not the dreaded Sam Howell pick that someone was at fault for in this call, but
man, they better not waste a pick on our quarterback at all this draft.
Yeah,
we got too many holes to plug.
No, Carson Strong. I had a game plan against him. He almost scared one of the blitz heaviest coaches in the NCAA out of blitzing. So
okay.
I mean,
he's solid. Plus, this whole last year. So a little bit quick backstory: 2021 offseason, he had a surgery. He was supposed to be out for a full year. He said, "Screw you, trainer." Rehabbed it within 6 months to get back onto the field. Played basically on one leg this entire season and still led Nevada to like an 8-4 record, which is crazy.
But he stayed hurt though.
But you'd redshirt him this year, which is ideal for us. He needs a year to get that knee back to full fitness, so it makes sense to sit him.
Oh, Plan B thinking like old school me. Follow the money. He says, follow the money by positional group, and that should tell you who we're drafted. Ooh, now you gave me a new piece of the puzzle. Damn you, Plan B. I forgot that part. I'm too busy being Patty today. My bad, people. I want to bring something up because part of being Patty, unfortunately, revolves around me doing certain things. But before we do that, let me get this off the screen. I ain't mean to click that one. I meant to click my other brother over here, my man Lions Rumble 88. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, guys?
Not much, man. We here. Dude, tell me about it. You don't even want to know half the things I done did today. All right. I'm finna show y'all all something, and I'm finna go down the line and get some answers. Again, this is where y'all get to come in and check me. It's open forum. I am not afraid for y'all to disagree with me. This article was written, and I'm doing all these headlines because it's a lot of information out there, and I'm trying to decipher through all of it. So, if I believe Lance Zierlein, and I don't, I don't, but he raised some good points. 2022 NFL draft, strongest position group. Weakest? He has the edge defenders as the number 1 strongest group. Now, I actually agree with this, which is one of the reasons why I don't think they go necessarily edge rusher in the first round, and why I think Jermaine Johnson was who they were talking to between him, Mafe, and Hutch. Do anybody disagree with the idea that edge rush is the number 1 deepest position in this group? Anybody?
You don't got me disagreeing.
Wait. I heard 9 drinks. 9 drinks. You think that's not true?
No, I think it's 100% true.
So if this is true, I'm going down the line. If this is true, let me see. Do I want to do this look or the other one? Yeah, I do this look. I like how this look better. All right. If this is true, talk to me. Well, I don't see him on there, so I'll start off with you, Anthony. Talk to me. If edge rusher is the deepest position in this draft, doesn't that kind of bode well for the Lions' chances to not take one so early?
Oh yeah. We've been sort of following this dynamic for a while now. I know believers of positional value will say otherwise. But I get where they're coming from. Believers will, but at the end of the day, when it is one of the strongest positional groups out there, you can take advantage of that market. It's just like receivers last year. It was such a deep group, and we found one in the 4th. It was one of the best there possible. The edge group this year, you've got some very, very good players who you're going to reach at the end of the 1st, in the 2nd. Hell, even at 66, you're still going to have some really good edge rushers there. And, when you've got multiple problems you've got to fix on your team, you want to try and hit on as many positions as possible with the best possible player there. So you take advantage of the market being so deep this year.
Now, again, keep in mind, and Anthony brought up a point I was going to bring up, which was last year when he talked about why he waited so long to take a receiver. He said it was a deep draft for receivers. I didn't feel that I was pressured to have to take a receiver because there was so many. So now we go to his number 2 spot. Safety. We going to start this one off with you, Ghost Gunner. He says safety is the second strongest position depth in this draft class. You agree or disagree?
I think I'd put receiver above safety. I don't like seeing Dax Hill's name there. You just take the corner and take that name out. I swear to God,
yeah. I don't know why. I don't know who thought this was cool, but if you watch him play safety, I promise you, it's a reason why he was on the slot. And I'm sick of some of the arguments like Kyle Hamilton can't cover the slot receiver. Kyle Hamilton shouldn't be having to cover the slot receiver in press coverage. That's just stupid. It's just stupid. It doesn't make sense.
We got AJ Parker for that.
Yeah.
Right. Like, we leave that alone.
I thought that's why we picked up Alex Anzalone.
No. That's why we brought back Jared Davis, which we should talk about.
Well, I mean, all of it's fair. But my question is do anybody disagree that this is the second deepest part of the draft? What about you, Lions Rumble? Do you think that this is the second deepest part of the draft?
Yeah, I think we all kind of were on the same page with that. Safeties and edge 1 and 2.
No,
I disagree.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Hey, because after Kyle Hamilton, Justin Lumpman, Dax Hill, Brisker, and Pittry.
Absolutely nobody.
Who's the next round of safeties that people realistically look at?
Cross,
Marquise Bell. I'm trying to remember.
I like O'Neal from I think it's Texas A&M.
Kirby. I don't mind.
Finley from Oregon.
Yeah, where right now I can name off 8 starter quality linebackers.
Don't you? Linebackers?
Yeah, that's true.
I think linebackers are definitely deeper than safety, and that's 8, including Brandon Smith, just for you.
Yeah.
William's right. You lose starters quicker in the safety class. I think you lose your starters quicker. I mean, receivers, you get starters later on in this draft. When you get to your Nick Crosses and that in the 90s, etc., they're good guys, but they're development guys. So after sort of the round 2, you're going to struggle to find starting safeties.
But yeah, William definitely has a point because anytime I ever do any mock drafts and I go in the later rounds, I run out of safeties real quick, I've noticed.
I mean, like I said, I asked these questions because I didn't want to say it, but I didn't think this. That's why I said I don't agree with him. I didn't think safety was the second deepest class. I think it's some names in here.
I feel like this wide receiver.
So are they saying deepest class, or are they saying the position with the most talent?
This one right here says strongest position group, weakest. We are right now in the strongest part of it. So I think they're saying,
okay, maybe I was confused. I thought they were saying like they're the strongest as in like the most talented
Right, the one that had the most talent at his position for this draft class. So they got number 3 as interior offensive line. Even though he only named a few people, I get what he's trying to do here. Again, I didn't agree with this. I just thought it would be interesting to talk about, because if you are subscribing to this way of thinking, then to me that tells me that, hey, it says, what is Hamilton's official 40? The official was 4.59 at the combine. So FYI, but William will tell you that it was definitely a 4.75. he would
keep sassing me. It's a 4.8 now.
And you don't like Brendan Smith, so we shouldn't even trust him anyway. But let me go down the line and go down real quick. If you are subscribing to this belief that these are deep positional groups, does this not lend itself more to part of the code of understanding what the Lions are going to do with that pick at 2 and 32 and 34? Because I think 2 guarantees dictates 32 and 34. Do anybody disagree with that? Wait. Hold on, y'all. I think Chris putting his Mac game down. I don't want to miss this. I think I caught that. Hold on. Chris.
Yeah.
I thought you was over there putting your Mac game down. Oh man.
Oh no, that was my fiance, man.
I knew I heard a female voice, and then his voice got real soft. He was like, yeah.
Oh, that shit got real.
Yeah. But if you are looking at it, I'm going down there. We're starting off going down the whole line with this. If you believe that there's a positional group that is deep, I want each person to tell me what they believe is the deepest positional group in this draft. Crimson Shadow, what do you have?
Deepest positional group. I'd either have to go. I want to say linebacker or edge.
Okay, Drew, what do you say? The deepest positional group that you think is in this draft?
Tackle.
Damn it, Drew, you get on my nerves. That was my guess, but we're gonna let it ride.
I get on your. We're like the same person.
I got it. I mean, it's almost like we've been together. I got more.
Rumble agrees. He's laughing right along with it. And everything.
I'm just saying, Chris. Who do you say is what group is the most strongest, deepest position in this draft class?
I was actually going to say tackle or edge.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to get off my board. Get off my damn board, okay?
I like Chris.
I'm just doing the price right.
Anthony scares me because Anthony watches way more college football than me, right? Like, somebody has to give me the name for me to have to just focus on that team, especially when it's an obscure team. Like, I'm like, I got to watch this game for real, so it's going down. Anthony, the deepest position in this draft for you?
For me, I feel like it's receiver again. I feel like receiver goes really deep here, depending on what you're looking for in this draft. So I think you'll get more starters further down in this draft than anywhere else.
I do like a lot of
a long snapper.
Class.
4 long snappers equals about the deepest class you've ever seen.
I mean, but long snapper for sure. I mean, right? Like what? Oh, Mike, I'm gonna start giving you that goddamn sad trumpet, that bump, bum, bum, that damn thing. I'm gonna start to give you that. William, what do you got at the deepest class in this draft? I know you definitely been on some damn college film. You managed to tell me that my prospect was a damn linebacker, and I just scratched my head until I had no more hair. So, what do you got at the deepest class?
Edge rusher is pretty deep. I want to bring attention to corners. We can't forget about corners where they have Sauce Gardner, Derek Stingley.
I don't like Stingley no more.
Trent McDuffie, Roger McCreary, Kajiri Alem. And then next row down, you have people like Tariq Woolen, who's an athletic
Don't forget
freak.
Petrie and Hill.
Yeah, I'm more just counting like
Outside
people who
corner.
outside corner. You also have people like Kobe Bryant, who was Sauce Gardner's running mate, who's a really good field safety. I mean, there's a lot of good corners in the draft too. Like people say this isn't a strong class. They're lying. There's probably not strong top 5 people, but everywhere else in this draft is absolutely loaded.
Okay, I mean, listen, I think that's fair. Gunner, what do you think that positional group is that's the deepest?
I mean, it's got to be punter, right? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, punter has been
It's
been creeping up there lately. I mean,
but receiver too. But let's be honest, Luke. If Nico Collins is in this draft, he'd be going like 5th overall. Let's be real here.
I mean, here we go with this book. Okay, listen, let me tell you.
I know you got a Nico Collins jersey in your closet.
It was a proud moment that I was unexpected to happen. I had to defend my Spartans. Did not expect for it to go that way. But the Michigan fan base, y'all come too damn deep, and I'll be ready to hold my own. And so, yes, I made some outlandish statement. Literally, after I made the statement that he ain't gonna get drafted, they said, "Oh, the Texans traded up," and I said, "Y'all definitely ain't gonna get him drafted." They select Nico Collins, and I just went, "You have got
that was the funniest crap I think I ever saw that night.
It could have happened to anybody. I probably was drinking that day anyway. Don't even make a difference.
That was one of the best draft moments on this show. The other one was J-Mo calling DeAndre Swift. And that was 2019.
Yeah, he nailed that one.
He said, DeAndre Swift's still there. We taking him.
And he was mad because I told him, I said, taking a running back in a second. He was like, no, we not. I was like, oh, okay. And then when he looked up, he was like, I said, I'm telling you, if he's there in a second, we're taking him. No, we're not. Alrighty then.
No, but I know you got a Nico Collins jersey in your closet. Probably got kept.
Nah, hell no. Matter of fact, I just hope he never see that video. See the light of day of that video. That moment will forever go down as a cautionary tale to hold your tongue a little bit longer.
Can't believe he went before Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's crazy.
Nine drinks. 9 drinks. Wait a minute. So what now?
It should have been Jason Taylor instead of Swift.
Listen, we
Jonathan took. He had a lot of fumbles. That was probably the biggest worry of him coming
right.
out.
And I think a lot of people got scared after the Amir
Abdullah.
Amir Abdullah, yeah.
Abdullah had small hands though.
Well, I mean,
Bruiser, look what he just did. He was the best this year. Oh, I wanted him so bad because
I had one dude 9 drinks that was 100% Jonathan Taylor, who did not care that he had all the fumbling issues. That was the late, great Jim Bordeaux, who pounded the drum, banged on the table, was like, the Lions really should take this guy. And I was like, I'd rather have DeAndre Swift because I think I can do more. And so, but I get it. What do you think is the deepest class in this draft, 9 drinks?
I watched him when he was younger, too. I'm about his.
Uh-oh.
What's that?
I can't hear you now. What happened to you? Your mic going out on me now.
No, what did you say?
Who do you have as the deepest positional group in this class?
Well, for sure, defensive end, and I'd put receiver next. I think there's at least 12 receivers that are better than the safeties or offensive linemen or anything like that.
Okay, I think that's fair. Rumble, you up, buddy? Tell me, what do you think is the deepest class?
I agree with a lot of you guys. I think the edge, and I agree with Drew. Tackles. I think there's a lot of just you don't even hear about a lot of the defensive end or tackles. So,
well, they have number 4 as cornerbacks. That's the next strongest group, and then they have offensive tackles as 5. At 6, they have the QB position.
How? Where are they putting receiver at?
How is quarterback?
Right, like
wow.
what?
As I said, I do not agree
in this draft?
with the view.
Do this dude understand football?
Running backs is 7.
There's literally 2 running backs.
Oh, there we go. Their receiver.
They got receiver
is 8. It says while some are much higher on this receiver class, I come away a little lukewarm after the talent and depth I've seen from 2020 and 2021 draft. While we are likely to see more first rounders than the 5 years average of 3.6, I don't believe there to be a true star in this group. I think Treylon Burks is 100% a true damn star, but what can I say?
This is Lance Zierlein, right?
Yeah, this is Lance Zierlein.
Yeah, that's my boy Lance.
Yeah, linebacker at 9.
Linebacker is 9. Tight end is 10.
That's fair.
Interior defense is 11. So from strongest to weakest, he's saying the interior defensive lineman is the weakest position.
That's false. Travis Jones alone should put it at about 3rd.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I feel like
Vaunted UConn defensive line.
This might be more of a not about depth, but the strength of a position group. How many high-end people are in a position group? Yeah,
that's what I was saying earlier.
That makes sense with edge.
Yeah. That's why I said I think the first two are right, but where they had edge and then safety, because then after that it's kind of.
Well, let's take it from Mr. Lance's mouth himself, who says, before we dive into my rankings, it's important for you to understand my criteria. In assessing each group, in assessing each positional group, I identify star caliber players, future starters, and overall depth. Generally speaking, I concentrate on prospects who are most likely to be drafted in rounds 1 through 5.
If he could identify star caliber players and future starters, he'd be in the front office somewhere, not working for himself right now.
Listen, these are just the headlines. These are just the headlines.
No quarterback starting this year.
Dude, listen.
No, that's not true. There's going to be quarterbacks starting this year.
The Panthers are going to panic and draft a quarterback to try to save their job, so they're going to force someone to play when they're not ready to play.
100% correct.
Let's go down and find out what's his thoughts on the quarterback position. Because I saw a lot of y'all go, what the hell? It's not a lot of quarterbacks in this draft. And I agree. It says we are unlikely to see a quarterback go inside the top 5. But yet, this is the sixth strongest positional group. Okay. But I won't be surprised if 4 or maybe even 5 solid starters emerge from this group. Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, and Desmond Ridder. I will stand on a hill that if Strong can be healthy, I think he would have been the number 1 quarterback coming out. It says would be late first to mid second round picks in most drafts, but could get pushed up a bit this year. Willis has the highest upside, but Pickett and Corral are more game ready. See, these are y'all experts.
I put my money on
maybe
one of them reaching a second contract with the same team. Ooh, maybe one.
That's an interesting bet.
I mean, listen, these are the so-called draft experts. This ain't a me thing. This is them thing.
Read the last sentence for me, just real quick, will you?
Yeah. Read that part again.
Yeah. You saw that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says Ryder is loaded with intangibles and talent to make him a very good game manager.
The last sentence. Yeah.
Depth won't be great here, but Jack Cohen is a solid day 3 sleeper.
I need more cowbell. Wait, say that
again. We got to get more cowbell. If y'all ain't never seen that, go YouTube. I need more cowbell. It's one of the greatest skits of all time. Now, when you're talking about the running backs, there's a few people in here, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like receivers should be higher. Like, seriously.
I do too.
Receivers definitely.
Can I throw out a question to the group real quick?
Absolutely. It's an open forum. We having a free time.
All right, cool. No, keep going. Let's stay up with running backs real quick.
Oh, you want to go back up to the running backs?
Let's go back to running backs real quick. How high would each of you draft the best running back in this year's class? What pick?
Like disregarding what we already have?
Well, I mean, like, let's not even just say for the Lions. Like, where do you think the first running back would come off the board in this year's
mid second round?
Yeah,
I was gonna say like mid to late second round.
Yeah, pick 100.
I think someone goes at 30 because in the 30s because there's no depth to the class. If you want a running back, I think you have to go for Hall or Walker early.
Who's at 30 right now? I draw a blank.
Cincinnati. He met in the
30s.
Yeah.
Oh, in the 30s. Okay.
In the 30s. I think early 30s. Second round, like that start of that second day, there's no depth of running back, and if you need one this year,
if anyone picks,
that is a false narrative. You don't need a running back.
If anyone picks someone that's not Kenneth Walker first,
Hold on, William. I'm gonna let you finish, but Drew just had one of the most controversial statements of all time. Now, what you just say, Drew?
So here's my theory. Here's my theory, right? Like, so if you've got, let's say you've got Dallas with Zeke Elliott right now, right? Yeah. They're paying him $18+ million a year because they drafted him at 4 over Jalen Ramsey in some ridiculous scenario, right? And then you have a dude like, what is the guy's name in Jacksonville? Unfortunately, he blew out his
Robinson.
Yeah, James Robinson, right? They have a horrific offensive line, and that dude ran for 1,000 yards.
Okay.
So I mean, like, yeah, it's only one example, but Like if you have a solid offensive line, you can put a 5th round Corey Reynolds. Anybody remember Corey Reynolds? Like if you have a solid offensive
Craig Reynolds.
Craig Reynolds, right?
Yep.
You can get production out of that position and not have to spend a 2nd, 3rd, 4th round pick on someone like a Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker III.
Yeah, Mac Wilson got 1,000 yards at the Colts.
Let me just be fair. We do this quite often where we say, oh, something is undervalued, but we don't look at the fact that most of the teams who are picking these players in those different positions did not necessarily need a player that super need. It wasn't their number one need, and that's why they didn't take it. When they took Ezekiel Elliott was 100% their number one need. The Cowboys really needed a running back. They had nobody. Like nobody. You had Tashard Choice. I don't think you was ready to roll with that. Now, since you gave me one example,
been a bad choice.
It would have been. It would definitely been a bad choice. I mean, you know, they told Jalen Ramsey they were taking him and took Ezekiel Elliott. But I'm just saying. Now let me be fair. You gave me one example, Drew, so that means I gotta give you your one example back and raise you one.
I thought that was the standard on the show, just to give one example.
One good example. Here we go. If you look at the playoff teams, look at the playoff teams. The playoff teams in the months of basically end of October all the way through the playoffs are teams who run the ball. Those are the ones who succeed the most and go the furthest in the playoffs. So the idea of saying that you don't need a running back is just simply not true. Because a lot of the time,
I'll rephrase.
I see Drew's point because you got to look at teams like Baltimore, where the quarterback's running. He's typically your number 2 back, damn near. Right. So I can see his point on that.
Thank you. So what I meant was, like, the production value that you can get to do what you're describing, Luke, is not wrapped up in drafting the position. It's wrapped up in drafting the offensive line. If you're an effective run blocking team, you're going to be able to run the ball effectively.
That's how the Steelers have been so successful for so many years, is the Iron Curtain.
Now they added Najee, and what happened? Like, they had a bunch of people leave their offensive line over the last 2 years.
Yep.
Drafted Najee Harris, and
he died.
Are they a great?
He got about 800-900 yards.
Just took his life already. Poor Najee.
Oh, he's a lifeline.
I know.
The 49ers
I'm going to the funeral next week.
The 49ers had a 6th-round rookie, Elijah Mitchell, go off for him this entire season.
But
look at Indianapolis.
The 49ers were designed for the run. But go ahead, William.
Did someone say Najee Harris didn't do well?
No, I'm just saying, like, I think that if you put him behind a line,
he had a 1,200-yard season.
Yeah,
I mean, 7 touchdowns.
Oh, he did good. Don't get me wrong. He could have been better under a better O-line. We're just saying,
right?
Shit, I could have been better with a better O-line. Like,
well, there you go.
Having a good running back does help. Like, for instance, I'm breaking down MSU, and dear Lord, is their offense terrible? Except they have gorgeous playmakers between
Kenneth Walker
and their 2 receivers. I mean, it's basically go balls to their wide receivers and just letting Kenneth Walker be an absolute god. Like, Kenneth Walker will make a whole difference for a team. Now, does it help?
He can't catch out of the backfield.
They never asked him.
His hands like stone blocks. Like, I mean, like
you don't need him to, though.
But every running back in the NFL now needs to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield.
Oh, that's bull. That's BS.
Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry.
That's BS.
We're going to go with the number 1 running back in the entire league in the last 15 years.
No. I'm going to go to just looking at. I'm just going to go and look at that some of the power backs who don't catch. Yeah, Nick Chubb don't do all that catching. Marshawn Lynch didn't do all that catching. You look at some of the best running backs that played this game. They didn't do all that catching. The idea that you got to have we fell in love with that after that Theo Riddick damn experiment. That's why I hated it. I hated that. Oh my god, a slot receiver. But you see how smart the Lions got. The Lions started using Amon-Ra St. Brown at running back because it was changing the way that you approach it. You don't have to have a running back making catches out the backfield, and we have one that's doing that in Jamal Williams. And how effective is that? It's not very effective.
And I think that's what Drew was saying. Like, even Deebo Samuel was lining up in the backfield,
right?
And they were like, they call it a pass where they just kind of toss it to him after they hike it to him. But yeah, it's getting more like you guys are saying, you don't necessarily need that top of the line running back if you have, like you guys say, those playmakers.
Right.
Like even Tyreek Hill, you can throw him in there too. Like that guy was doing some crazy stuff.
Let me ask, man, Mike be coming up with the crazy. What the hell?
Charlie,
Mike, what the hell? What is Mike
Who's
going
Charlie
through?
Hmm? You did? Did you
Is
do
he
that?
good? Look, can I use something I've heard on the show
Yes.
here?
Yes.
If he's going to help you, why wouldn't you take him?
Oh my
It doesn't
God.
matter what he plays.
I
what you
mean,
pay him, as long as he helps, you can take
I
him.
mean,
at
the
2.
truth is the truth. Listen, Chris, even you got to admit that's Dan Campbell said that. Dan Campbell has repeated everything I have literally said. Now he magically sick. Not buying it, but come on.
Nah, he too honest.
He's
I'm
also
telling you,
wrong
he's
about
too
the quarterback
transparent.
thing.
He's
I don't
not
know.
wrong about it. He
He is
not wrong.
100% wrong about it.
Okay.
I
hold
mean,
on,
if
wait.
Nick Foles can win a Super Bowl, hey.
Ah,
But
Hold on.
I will say the run
Tom Brady
game helped
wins
immensely in that
The
game.
Super Bowl every
Oh,
other
sure.
year.
Okay.
Sure.
What,
You
what
can
I
win it with
will
Nick Foles.
what I will say about that is, he said you do not need one. It's like when people say you do not need money to be happy. Damn sure helps though.
yeah.
He said that. He said it does. He says it does help. He said, but you do not need one. Let's
But
talk
you're
about.
hardly going to
But you
say
can't
that
do
in front
better
of
than Jared
Goff, though, are
Goff.
you?
So
You're
I'm
not
not a
gonna-
Goff apologist. I'm sorry, Anthony.
You're not going to say that in front of Goff, though, are you? You're not going to go there and go, "Oh God, yeah, we need
Exactly.
an elite
God,
quarterback to
we
win
need
games
a
and
starter."
get us there."
God,
You're not
that'd be
going to say that in front of your
The guys-
quarterback.
yeah, the guy's
Especially
confident.
after what happened in the Brown situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're not
No,
about
the
Browns-
guy's
their-
confidence
the
already shot.
The Browns, the Falcons, they all screwed over their quarterbacks
All right.
this summer.
All right, listen.
You know, you don't do it. You just don't. They're going, "Oh yeah, I want this Ray good guy. I've got him." But you know,
Yeah, but if
you
you're gonna
just don't
screw
do it.
if you're gonna screw your quarterback, you better have a dang good replacement. And I'd say Deshaun
Exactly.
Watson's a dang good replacement.
All right, listen. I'm gonna have some fun with this because I not only believe that what he said was true, I can prove it. I'm going to prove it, and I'm going to let Drew be the one because Drew said this is a bunch of malarkey. There's no way what he said is true, right, Drew? Drew,
He is wrong. You need elite quarterback play.
okay. I want to make sure I'm just making sure I'm hearing you. So I decided to look it up, right? I'm trying to bring it up on the screen now. Hold on. I just don't know why you believe this, but I get it. Here we go. All right. Is it on the screen? Do you see it?
No.
I freaking hate computers. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Let's get this a little bit better. All right. I'm going to put this to the test. All right. This is just for Drew. For the benefit of you who don't believe, I'm going to ask you to just answer a few questions. You cannot explain anything to me. It's simply a yes or a no. All right, Drew? This is a list
Before we start, can we?
I know what he's going to say. I know.
Can we do the last 10 years?
Absolutely. I'm going to the last 10 years.
Okay.
I'm just explaining what this is. This is a list, and you use the last 10 years, but I understand why you are, but I get it. You're still going to find some interesting data there.
Yeah.
All right. This is a list of all the winning Super Bowl quarterbacks and the losers. Right here, winners, losers, winners, losers. Let's start with the winners on this particular case. Is Matthew Stafford elite, Drew? Yes or no?
I would not say he's elite, no.
Okay.
Oh, BS.
I'm just saying, listen.
I
I
love the guy, but I think he is just a shade below elite.
That's cool.
I agree with
cool.
this.
That's cool. I'm not even gonna argue the Stafford thing, right?
Okay.
I just want to show it. So that's one. Tom Brady, would you say he's elite?
I would.
Patrick Mahomes, would you say he's elite?
I would.
All right, that's two.
Yeah.
Nick Foles, would you say he was elite?
Can I qualify this one?
No, you're gonna get yes or no.
All right.
Truth
He is
has
not
a
elite.
strong one. All right. Peyton Manning, would you say he's elite?
He was not in that year.
No, not.
No.
He's an elite quarterback for his career, but that year he was terrible.
Wait a minute.
he was
Wait a minute.
horrible.
Yeah, wait a minute. What we're not gonna do is put disclaimers out there. No.
All right. Yeah,
Yes
he's
or no?
elite.
We're gonna give you the yes. Okay. Yeah,
All right.
no explanations.
Sure.
Russell Wilson, elite.
Yes.
Joe Flacco, elite.
No.
Hell no.
Eli Manning, elite.
Yes.
So how many in the last 10 years would you say was elite? You said Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning, and Patrick Mahomes.
He said Eli Manning too.
No, he didn't say Eli. Did he?
Yeah, Eli. Yeah.
You think Eli's elite?
He won 2 Super Bowls and he beat
But
the
not
Patriots.
Hold on. Hold the hell up. Hold up.
No.
Drew.
I'd argue for his first half of his career. Yeah, he was pretty
That nigga was lucky.
Hold on. I got to look Drew in the eye on this.
Oh, is this going to happen?
Drew.
Yeah.
I'm throwing a flag on the play. Hold the hell up. Eli Manning's elite because he won
He's a Hall
2
of Famer.
I'm
How can you not be if you're in the Hall?
Because he won 2.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's got more than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you win a Super Bowl,
Who was Eli Manning better than?
if you're a Super Bowl winning quarterback, the conversation has to take place. He's won 2. He beat Brady twice. He may not have the MVP things like Rodgers does. He may not have the stats like Stafford does. But what he has done is won 2 Super Bowls. And I think that will get
his team won him.
That's okay. And like I get it. Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl, so that makes him good. Then Eli Manning won 2 of them, so he did 5-6 times better than Jared Goff.
Okay,
so if you're going to hold up getting there as an attribute for one quarterback, then winning them has to be a million times better.
By your own logic, Eli Manning is better than Patrick Mahomes because he has more Super Bowl wins.
Right.
Well, I say that he's going to get the Hall, but I mean, I think Mahomes has probably got a great case through the first 4 years to make the Hall.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh my God. Okay, Drew.
Yeah.
You know I love me some you, right?
Right.
All right. You have one of the best beards on here. Okay. Let me put that out there. Awesome. You
I
have
would
a
want
very
that beard.
have a very gorgeous smile.
Anthony's got a good one too.
You have a very, very gorgeous smile.
Appreciate it.
But I'm calling bullshit and throwing the flag on the play on this one because there's no way we're going to give Eli Manning elite. So, but for the benefit of you who gave it to him, I'm going to stick to your rubrics. I simply want to know who it is. So you got Eli Manning as elite for whatever strange reason.
I can't drink right now, damn it.
You got Russell Wilson as elite,
Yep.
Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Patrick Mahomes. So you got 5 of over the last 10 years of quarterbacks being elite.
Mm-hmm.
And so Joe Flacco, Nick Foles, and Matthew Stafford are the only 3 that are non-elite. But I think
Matt's close.
And
you guys, some of you think that he is. So right, like
I just think that once you said Eli was elite and you said Stafford, my brain just didn't work.
Sure, I get it.
It just didn't work. I just was like, wait a minute, what did he just say?
I mean, if we're gonna put like Peyton Manning in that particular season as elite, like over the course of his career, I had to give it to Eli. Okay. I know it's unpopular. That's fine.
I see what you did.
I actually agree with you. I'm not even gonna lie. I actually agree with you on the Eli Manning thing.
Who just said that?
I
Gunner?
will say Eli Manning did good in the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh.
He was pretty damn good the first half of his career, but I think the second half was mostly plagued by bad coaching, bad O-lines, bad drafting. Kind of what Stafford had to deal with here.
And lack of cowbell.
Right. That's
really
after
maybe after 2014.
The cowbell thing is key.
Well, the Giants.
Listen. Like, I'm going to have to revise my opinion on Matt Stafford if in the next 2-3 years he goes out and wins another Super Bowl. I wouldn't be able to say the same thing about Eli and not the same thing about Stafford. Just at this point in time, over the last 10 years, I think that what really matters in the NFL is elite quarterback play. And I think that more often than not in those last 10 years, even if we only have, 5 or 6 quarterbacks who have done it, the amount of times they have done it in this last decade under this CBA indicates to me that is something that is an absolute necessity. Now, can you do it? It's been done. Now, the thing about Foles is that Carson Wentz had his best season as a pro that season, and then Foles carried them across the line when he was out. So, yes, it certainly can happen. And the one that I always hear about is Trent Dilfer, right? Trent Dilfer carried that defense, that all-time great defense, carried them to the Super Bowl. Dilfer got him across the line. So you can't be right, Drew, because Trent Dilfer's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, right?
The score was also like 9-12 or something. It was a weird score.
Yeah.
Listen, first of all, I'm not even knocking your view. I'm not. I'm just impressed by Anthony I don't even care if they're elite quarterbacks needed to win Super Bowls.
I mean, who won with the Bears? Was that McNabb?
That was 1985. Though.
Are we going back to 83 again?
Oh, well, I mean, but listen, Rex Grossman
Different
got
game.
to a Super Bowl. Like, let's be honest. Like, it's like seriously. I mean, the Lions got to the NFC
So did Jared
Championship.
Goff. I mean, like if
The
that's
Lions-
the bar,
But the Lions got to the NFC Championship with Eric Kramer. Like, the Duke.
So
I'm
I
not
hear.
killing you.
I like Drew's point, but I think if Stafford does win MVP this year, regular season MVP, I think then he kind of goes over that to where we can really keep him. Like, if he gets MVP this year, that means he's the face of the damn league. Then I could be like, okay, he's elite now.
They're never going to give that man an MVP. He didn't even get a Pro Bowl vote.
Right.
Like,
That's where we get that.
how does he not make the Pro Bowl?
I know.
this
I'm
year
with you.
The reason I don't give Stafford the elite moniker is because I've seen a lot of games where that team kind of carried his water, where he's getting 3 interceptions and he still freaking won somehow, which I'm like, that would have never happened.
Let me get to this final question before I get down to this, because I want to shout this one out because this was brought up on the Motor City Sports Talk, and I was watching one of the videos he was talking about, and I know where he was going with the idea of it, but he did bring up something that I thought was interesting, which was that the Lions over the last 10 to 20 years have been putting assets on top of assets into the offensive line and the defensive line. And his question was simple: why would they go out and add another damn line? And I thought about it, and I said, let me go back and just look at it, because I remember us doing the same thing. But then I thought about it. He could have taken it a step further and simply said, look at the defensive line that Washington had. They wasn't in the top 10, 15, I don't think. I could be wrong. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure they wasn't in the top 10 of sacks. That's with Chase Young, Montez Sweat, a guy I told everybody needs some prayer, but and
That's some deodorant.
Man, the struggle was real for him. But my question to you, and I'm going down the line, starting with you, Drew, is given the history of the Lions, trying to go, and I'll bring it up because when he said it, I was like, have they really invested that much into trying to fix this shit? And I was shocked. Oh, wait, this is the wrong chart. I didn't mean to go this far back.
Just check one of your other 48 tabs that you have open.
This is how I keep track of. This is headline day, okay? It's headline Friday.
I got you.
Look how beautiful Benny Blaze is right now.
He's great. What year was that? 97. There it is.
That was 19.
They still had pages back then.
No.
I couldn't drive yet.
It was 1988, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to show y'all that, look who the first 3 picks was in this draft and how the draft people were thinking back in the day. Linebacker was number 1.
Yeah.
Number 1. Think about that for a moment. That was the number 1 pick. And then DN obviously was there. Then DB. So the Lions, have not been a stranger to this. But obviously Tim Brown, Hall of Famer, Michael Irvin, Hall of Famer, because people love that. And I had this other one up. Where is it at? Over here. All right. Started from 2000 and working our way up.
Yeah.
The Lions have invested a lot. And a lot of teams have invested a lot in this position, and it's not panning out. Courtney Brown went over Brian Urlacher. He went over LeVar Arrington, even though I thought LeVar Arrington that day was not human.
Yeah.
You know who the Lions took that year?
You told me once. I can't remember. I'm trying to find it.
Dr. McDougal.
Dr.
McDougal. Yeah.
Who?
I know that guy. 2001. How much they invest in this thing right here? Where's Detroit at? We got to come down a little bit. Jeff Backus, back to back, right? And don't even get me started on the other rounds. They were picking up D linemen too, but I'm just showing you.
Sure.
2002, I believe this was this is Julius Papper's year, and also this is the year that Ed Reed came out, I believe too. And let's see, Detroit took Joey Harrington. They went with positional value. David Carr. Joey Harrington and David Carr were your positional values, and I think Joey Harrington was just rolling by the line.
Well,
I think
Julius Peppers, he's got positional value. So does tackle. So does DB.
Yeah, I feel you, but you don't know who Mike Williams is. You can't tell me who he is. You know Joey Harrington because he's on our team, and you know David Carr because he's on the TV still talking. You look at that.
I have been watching football for 25 years.
I feel you, but guess what? You're not going to tell me that Joey Harrington, David Carr was worth those picks. You're not going to tell me that.
Oh, they were.
It was a weak.
If Malik Willis is being talked about it too, Joey Harrington was worth. I'll talk about 3.
You know what? On that regard, fair enough. Fuck that. You right. I take that back. I take it back. If
I'm
you,
surprised David Carr lasted till 2012.
Dude,
I know, right? I mean, he got destroyed, and that was the Texans failing.
All right, I'm going down the list. I'm just gonna go down the list, and I'm just gonna ask. I'm going down the list, starting with you, Drew. Should the Lions continue to invest into the defensive line, and when they've already put time into it? And I'm going to go down the list on every single person, and then that's the last question before we get up out of here.
I'll do you one better.
Uh-oh.
Here's where the Lions should be investing. They should be investing in their defensive line, especially at edge. They should be investing at corner. They should be investing at wide receiver. And then at some point, you're going to have to invest. You're going to have to invest heavily.
What does that sound? Let me see.
Is that a what is those things in your sink that chews up food?
No, that's not even me. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Sounds like a vacuum cleaner.
If that's you 9 drinks.
I thought it was a train.
Chris is like,
that's my ambiance.
So the only position group that I would say that I personally, if I was in charge of the Detroit Lions, I would no longer continue to invest heavily in as starter quality players are tackles, because you have 2 starters and you have depth.
Okay.
At those positions, but I would be looking, if I was in the war room with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, I would be quote unquote pounding the table for edge rushers, wide receivers, cornerbacks, and of course a quarterback. I just don't think that this year is a good time to get a cornerback. But the other 3 positions would be where I would be looking to add to this team. Okay.
William, what do you think? I mean, should the Lions continue to invest in this position? If you were to go through and count the first 2 rounds of defensive linemen and offensive linemen, should they continue this trend?
I feel like it's a bit antiquated at this point. You just need talent. Get talent in the room.
They got it.
So I know Drew already threw his head down. So my thing with positional value, I agree heavily in free agency. Where we got Tracy Walker for $8 million a year for 3 years, beautiful value. I think it's in the draft. We're already paying that player. Doesn't matter to me. That salary is already going to be taken up. Now, when it comes to quarterback, you want the quarterback in the first round. Like, that's the main one, because that's the one that has that huge price hike. I can understand that. Like, you want to structure around a rookie deal. But for everything else, like, you're paying the money anyways until they get a contract. So.
Okay, I think that's fair. Shout out to Lions Lee. He says, Luke G, should we...
What?
Wait a minute, what?
You good, Chris?
Now that, I guarantee you, he's talking to a kid. I know that talk anywhere. He was talking to like his baby or something, because that's how I would talk exactly to my baby. So tell me I'm lying, Chris. Tell me I'm lying.
No, that was a train.
That's a train?
It's a train. When he said...
It was a freight train.
It's a train. All right.
That was a loud train.
Lions Lee says, should we have taken Jock over Levi last year? I thought that the D tackle from UCLA was better. I don't know if taking Jock would have been better, but I can tell you this much: we are still in the same place that we've been in way before he was even on the conversation. So should we have taken him? I don't know, because I think we end up getting a linebacker that I like in Derek Barnes, who just needed to get more playing time. It just boiled down to just that. So I don't know. That's kind of a hard one for me. Ghost Gunner, should the Lions continue to trend and go and get those defensive linemen? We've been doing this for a while.
I think they should, but that doesn't necessarily mean you need to use the second overall pick on it. You can, and it certainly would be helpful, but I still think we need another guy in the D tackle room. I still think we need an edge rusher. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to take it at 2. Now, I know Anthony knows my guy, or our guy, Travis Jones. We're starting the fan club if we do draft him. But yeah, I still think it's worth investing in the D-line room. I don't think we're finished there. Certainly not.
All right. I mean, that's fair. Chris, do you think we should continue to invest in that position?
I mean, yeah, because that's like at the end of the day, like you don't like he said, you don't have to necessarily attack that position at 2. You know what I'm saying? We got like a bunch of rotational players and decent starters, and I wouldn't be mad if they did, but the thing is like I'm pretty sure you had said a while back, like at the end of the day, whatever pick you pick at 2, just make sure it's the right pick. If it's the right pick and it pans out, then you know what I'm saying?
Yep, don't care.
Don't care.
It just has to work.
It just has to be the right, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, our opinions are opinions. They're going to pick who they're going to pick anyway.
Facts. Anthony, should the Lions continue the trend of drafting D linemen? Like, you know, especially in a draft that's shown that that's a deep positional group. Should they continue the trend, whether it's at 2, 32, 34?
Yes, they should. If you'd have asked me a couple of months ago, I'd have probably said no, but I've thought about it myself, and this defense has a lot of problems. One of them is stopping the run, especially down that interior. Now, Aleem, you know my feelings on him. I love him to absolute bits, but there's got to be a guy in there with him. You know, Osman's already said it. We know who our guy is there.
Travis Jones.
You bring him in, the 2 gap. You have him and Aleem stuffing up the middle of there. You've got Levi to come in obvious passing situations, bring him in. You've got Penasini in. You've got depth, and you're going to be able to stem the flow of the run through the interior of the defense. Because what happened last year, Brockers and Williams got ruined. They got carved open so many times, and people just ran straight through us. We have to still make investment in there. I'm not writing Levi off, but you need the depth in there to be able to solve the issues. It's one of the biggest problems we have. So, yes, we do.
And you can get someone better than Kevin Strong.
Question, if I may?
Right.
If we're taking Travis Jones and, as you say, relegating Levi to a more pass-heavy situation, isn't that almost damn near giving up on the second-round pick?
That's what I think. And you know what? That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking the same thing.
If he helps, what does it matter?
Exactly.
They're different positions, though, because Travis and Aleem are interior guys, are nose tackles, one tackles. We played a 4-man front. Levi plays further out wide. You don't need to replace him in there. You can still use him in there as well, but he does his best work at the 3 and 5 tech out there. You don't need to replace him. But you've got options to come in and use him to his best ability at the minute because he's not played much. You do need to bed him in, and we still need another interior guy to stuff the run with us because we've got no one else other than Aleem.
And how many?
To me, when I watch Travis Jones, he comes from a 1-gap system. He doesn't really do a lot of 2-gapping like Aleem McNeil did.
And I like Thomas Booker.
Thomas Booker is going to be insane. He's not going in the 5th like all the mock drafts. Mock draft people are high.
Yeah, I think
he's going in the 4th latest.
Going to be nice. I think he's going to be a nice pickup.
I agree with Anthony Andrew. I think Levi is still a work in progress. I think he'll be able to play up and down that line. I think that's going to be our guy who's going to be able to go up and down that line wherever we need him. I don't think we've seen the last of him. I think he's going to be all right.
Very much. And he was hurt all year. And on top of that, he was still pretty productive, even playing hurt. So I'd say I was pretty impressed with him fighting through the pain.
Oh, man. My man, 9 Drinks left, and I was finna go to him next. Damn it. But shout out to you, 9 Drinks, for jumping in and joining us on the show, man. I appreciate it. But let me get back to Drew, because Drew has joined me on the Patty Party. He says if they work out, it doesn't matter. He's right. But the thing is you can't put everybody on the field together. And I don't have a problem with it because they have already done this before, admitted, yeah, we made a mistake where they let people go and like, this is not going to work. So I respect that. But it does, knowing this media, knowing this fan base, if y'all going to attack the shit out of him and go, you were wrong about Levi, and that's why you tried to correct it. They don't care that you tried to correct it. They only going to know that you just got the pick wrong. So
I get what you're saying. Animated shoes.
Alligator shoes. What happened? Did I miss something?
Yeah, he's talking to his kid.
Oh, okay. Crimson Shadow.
Going on, yeah.
I know, right? Crimson Shadow. You get the final words on this topic before we go into final thoughts.
Okay.
Should the Detroit Lions continue the trend of adding D linemen? I mean, they've been trying to do this for a while.
Well, like I've been saying in the past, whatever Brad Holmes does, I'm going to trust in what he does. You can make an argument for Kyle Hamilton. You can make an argument for Kayvon Thibodeau. Either way, I'm going to trust in what he does, and I believe in the coaching staff will develop them at their best. And at this point, look, having 2 first-round picks and having 34 really helps. I think a lot of people really are not looking into that. On top of that, even if we go safety, you can get some decent edge. Because like you showed in the list, edge is really deep, and so is safety. You can go Kayvon, you can go Brisker. You can go Kyle, you can go Boye. Either way, you can still build something with this. I don't think either way is bad. I have no problem with taking either or. I can understand either side. You can take Kayvon, okay. I trust that you'll motivate him. Dan's a really good motivator. He's like a WWE wrestler. For God's sakes, I'll run through a wall for the guy, and I'll probably die. But you know what? I did it for Dan. And Kyle Hamilton can understand that. With him and Tracy Walker would be a deadly combination, and it's beautiful to see. But yeah, you can go either way, and I wouldn't be mad at it. Except Malik Willis. Screw that idea and do a fire. And wait to go drown myself.
Please.
He said, except Malik Willis. Screw that idea.
That shouldn't have never been an idea.
I think if you watch all the headlines, you look at all the clues, and again, this is for me. It's about trying to find people who can break the Brad Holmes code. That's what I did with Bob Quin. That's how I was able to keep my prediction rate until they put a dead man walking. And I told people, if you put a dead man walking, he's going to show his hand. You need to fire him now and let the new guy come in and make that pick, because that was the 3rd overall pick. He had already been here for 2 seasons and sucked big time, and they allowed this man to come in and make the 3rd overall pick, and he goes out and have the scouts say, take Isaiah Simmons, and the head coach who says, give me Derek Brown, and he goes, both of you, shut the hell up. I know what's going on here. Jeff Okudah, lock it in. We're taking Jeff Okudah, and if you watch that feed, just go back. Anybody go back and look on YouTube. Look at
Patricia did not look happy.
Face. Look at his face when they announced that pick. He had this, you got to be effing kidding me look. So
he did.
He looked happy with DeAndre Swift more than Okudah.
He was so stoked about DeAndre Swift. So again, I get what's going on here. All right, people, this is the time for final thoughts, because it's Friday. People got things to do, and I'm excited for it. I always love when everybody come in, especially Drew, because Drew, I don't think Drew understands this. He not only has the voice for this thing, he has the face for it, and he will challenge your ass to hear the high heaven. Will is going to come not only with you with some analytics, but he's going to tell you to shut the hell up, because he's watched too much stuff for his own damn good. And that's a great thing. Ghost Gunner is literally going to do what Ghost Gunner do. He's going to be Ghost, pop in every now and then, say some crazy shit, stir a few cups, and then get back out. Okay? Chris is new to the building. I appreciate him coming through. I love the fact that you're a family man. You got the fiance talking to the kids, and if you caught me in a lot of my earlier times, you will probably hear my kids talking to me as well. They always talking to me. 9 Drinks came back. Look at 9 Drinks. 9 Drinks. Shout out to you for being new to the show too as well. 9 Drinks. Hopefully you come back on and talk football with us. Anthony, I don't know if y'all pay enough attention to Anthony, but I've come to the conclusion that Anthony does not sleep. He makes Batman look like the fucking like sunshine
robot,
because he refuses to go to sleep. Yeah, I don't know how he's doing this.
He's a robot.
Like, watch this, Anthony. What time is it where you at right now?
20 past 1 in the morning.
It's 8:23 p.m. Eastern Standard. Just put that in y'all pipe and smoke it. The dedication is real for this man.
I just enjoy talking to you a lot too much. It's a curse, but
Hey, what can I say, man? Well, listen. Make sure when you come here for the draft party, we go hook up. I will say, buy me a beer. I buy you a beer, but I don't drink. I just don't drink at all. But I would definitely meet up with you and chill with you when the draft come around, because I plan on being there. I think day 1, I'll take my kids with me, and then day 2, they got to stay home because Daddy need to have some fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be up in that whole thing.
Okay,
I'll be there too. I'm gonna be there too. Mark
my words. Shout out to my 2 co-hosts, my man William Birch and Lions Rumble 81, who's they work, they go to school, they're busy, but they always find ways to get in here and get their stuff done. Crimson Shadow, who makes sure he's always available to pop in here and say a few words and jump in. It says I'm smoking a blunt for you, Luke. Yeah, I don't even smoke, so you got to definitely smoke that for me. I hear blunts are really good, but I can tell you at the yesterday's moment of working yesterday where I didn't get home until 4 a.m. I need a blunt bad. We're gonna just put that out there. We get into the final thoughts. Drew, starting off with you. You gotta make sure you plug the podcast every single time. So let the people know.
Okay. So I have a podcast. It's about Star Wars. It's with me and buddies.
Yes.
Yep. So it's called Mediocre Conversations with Tom and Drew. It's on Anchor and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So if you'd like to give that if you like Star Wars and you like the sound of my voice, please feel free to go over there.
Yeah, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm gonna check that out for sure.
There you go, man.
So does Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader have more positional value?
Well, that's an interesting conversation.
That's a very good point.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Drew.
They just
I'm
can't
sorry.
get him. He's so small.
I mean, it's a very good point. I just want to know who the Force is truly with on that one. I mean, just a very good point. My man, my co-host, my statistician, my film guy, my coach, my other half of my conscience to let me know I'm full of shit very too often. Mr. William Birch, what are your final thoughts for the people?
Guys, enjoy your weekend. Just have some fun. Regardless of what shit happening, any stresses, final moments, just have some fun.
I'm surprised you didn't say nothing about Ali Fayed that the Lions had a private visit with. So
Did he?
Yeah.
I know.
Wait, you broke news before William knew about it? Oh,
Yeah.
I am
Breaking
very bad at
news.
learning about that type of stuff. They probably met with Ralph Holley too. I know they met with
Treylon Burks, Dean, Nakobe Dean, Ali Fayed, Ahmad
They were
Gardner,
thinking about
George
their-
Karlaftis, Kayvon Thibodeau, Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, Malik Willis. The only name that's not on here is Kyle Hamilton, which I find very intriguing.
That's probably the pick then, right?
I find
There
that
you go.
very
I
intriguing.
like Drew's thinking. That's some Jedi mind shit right there,
That's right
baby.
there.
Ghost Gunner, give the people your final thoughts, sir.
Hang on one second.
Uh-oh.
I plugged the podcast. I didn't actually give a final thought. So if Gunner's okay, I'd just like to
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick.
Go ahead.
It's too early for In Brad We Trust.
I agree. I agree. I think it's fair. I think that's a fair assessment. It's still a little too early. He's got to be more consistent, and But right now, I feel good that he's not going to make a dumb move. I feel good. You do have a great radio voice, my dog, Dave. Hey, Drew, you got a good voice. That's a good thing. Gunner, give the people your final thought.
I do agree with that. I think if he can also hit on this draft with the majority of his picks like last year, I think his trust definitely shoots through the ceiling if he can hit it on 2 drafts in a row. Also, with the Bob Quinn code, it was easy to figure out. Is he a Big Ten player or an SEC player? That's our first round pick. That's how you narrow it down.
Yeah,
That was the problem
me-
I'd say. He
it
looked
took
at it,
me-
he's like, he's not the SEC or Big Ten. Get him out of here.
Gunner, do you remember how long it took me to crack that code? The first draft, and I
2
was like,
weeks.
you realize he took all SEC and Big Ten players in the first 2 picks.
Yeah,
And
first 2 rounds.
I went to the next year's draft and I looked at who they visited and I was like, yep, it's going to be a Big Ten player or SEC player. So I get it.
We'll see if the pattern continues with Brad Holmes. If he takes a Pac-12.
Brad Holmes' pattern is all over the freaking place. I swear to God, if you look at the conferences from where he took last year, it's all over the freaking place. Part of it looks like he might be super ACC, but even that looks spotty.
What conferences was Levi in? I know he played in Washington.
Washington,
Pac-12.
Pac-12, yeah.
Pac-12, Pac-12. What's Ali McNeil is what? NC State.
ACC.
ACC. Amon-Ra Simmer is also Pac-12, right?
Yeah, so
Derek
Barnes
played
is Purdue. That's
Big
Big Ten.
And then
BK.
Belfama was
I
Syracuse.
think all about him. Shit, damn, I forgot about man.
Wait, what conference is Syracuse in?
ACC.
ACC. Damn, all right.
If I say he's over Jamar Jefferson, what's that?
Oregon State.
Oregon State, he was at, yeah.
I
So
don't know
I mean,
what that is.
like I said, it's
They're mostly ACC and Pac-12 is what he's been picking from.
just saying. Chris, give the people your final thoughts. And again, if you got any social media feeds where you think you got enough entertainment for people to enjoy you, plug it.
My final thoughts is, man, I feel like I do agree with Drew and everybody else as far as like it's too early to believe in Dan or just get caught up in everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let him see what he do or whatever. But I believe in it for the most part right now because he set everything up for us to be in this position to be able to do it. So if you plan it this good, just to screw up, then you're going to have all of us like, dude, what? But my final thought is, I think he going Hamilton. So, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Hey, listen, I ain't mad at you. Anthony, give the people your final thought, and you know you got to plug the shows and all the great things that you do. Because either George Carlettis is going to be good, or me and you are about to hear a bunch of bullshit. I can already have it, hear it coming.
It's all right, look, we stand on our beliefs, don't we? If they're wrong, we're wrong.
That's all right.
We don't get them all right. So, I've probably given final thoughts on the draft about 10 times already, so I'm just going to stay away from that. My final thoughts are just, thank you to you, thank you to the entire panel, and I love coming on doing this with you all. So, keep on doing it. It's a wonderful forum to come and just chat Lions and have a nice evening. So, thank you to you all.
Man, thank you for the commitment. 1 a.m. 1 a.m, I'm only getting 2 things: a gas station for some condoms and a female. I'm just gonna tell you right now, you sir are dedicated.
I should be out socializing and trying to meet people and stuff, but this is kind of like it. So I can say I'm doing it by doing this.
Practice makes perfect.
Fair enough. My man's, I'm gonna go. My man's Lions Rumble 81. Give the people your final thoughts for the day.
Oh man, it's fun. This is fun, man. This panel right here is all of you guys are like, you guys stand behind what you're saying, and you guys have very good logic. So I enjoy this as well. I agree with Anthony. This is fun. It's always fun, and yeah, man. Hey, like William said, man, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the weekend, you guys, and hopefully we do this again next week. And yeah, man, that's it.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Crimson Shadow. Give the people your final thought.
Well, yeah, definitely. I've been with Luke G since the beginning. I remember seeing him back when he was talking about Matthew Stafford. I remember showing JMO and everyone, and there was only a couple Lions podcasts back in the day. And I remember when he started doing that. I remember the old phone lines he used to do.
I was gonna bring them back.
Oh God,
I was gonna bring them back, but I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Yeah,
I'm the room that I had everything hooked up in is getting remodeled into something else, and
Makes
so
sense.
I was like, I gotta wait till I get that done so I can find a new spot to put everything because my kids keep touching my equipment.
You finally getting your own studio there, Luke?
Exactly.
Oh, man,
and
listen.
I do agree with Drew, and it's the problem of being a Lions fan in general. We do try to get way too hyped up. I mean, for God's sakes, at the time we were calling Bob Quin Master Chief. Does anybody remember that?
I do remember that.
I mean, we believed in Bob Quin. We do buy into things like that, but that's all we can do as Lions fans is hope. That's what we've been doing for years. We're similar to Browns fans in that regard. But
I like these Star Wars references, by the way.
Hashtag Factory of Sadness.
I know. Unfortunately for us, it'll be more like Detroit Lions, the lost hope for us. But I would, I like I said, out of all the regimes, this one definitely seems to be the most legit. But again, it can go either way. I'm a very cautious fan. I cross my fingers, but my highs are too high, my lows are too low. And if you think I'm lying, I'm not.
Man, we got Hard Knocks coming. I don't think Patricia could have did that. I think only Dan could have done that.
Patricia, the way the rule is for Hard Knocks, you cannot have a new head coach and be a losing team. You have to have a already seasoned head coach and then be a losing team. That's why we didn't get it with Patricia. He was a new head coach.
Not his first year. His second year, I think we definitely could have gotten.
I thought they were trying to do the second year. I thought, and he was like, "No, you can't come in." You know, they're being super secretive.
No, I thought the second year we wasn't the worst team.
I mean, we're pretty bad.
I mean, we were horrible.
Going into the second year. Yeah, we were.
You're right. We wasn't bad. We were terrible.
No, wait. He went
6-10 his first season. Yeah.
He went 6-10 the first season. Let me think. How did
and then the first game.
He went 3-12.
No, wait. Did he go 6-10 the first season?
Yes.
No, the Jets beat our ass that first game.
It was somebody that was worse than us.
There was plenty of teams that were worse than us.
He took over a lot better teams.
Was that the year Andrew Luck retired?
Yeah, because that was like we had the top 10 pick or something.
I can't remember.
We was at 7 or 8 or something.
If you're talking about what we in his 2019 season, yeah, we were 3-12-1.
Yeah,
right. And it was two teams. It was two teams with a worse record than us, and I can't remember who the hell they were.
It was Washington and who picked the quarterback? Oh, the Bengals.
There it is. All right.
Yeah.
Good people, thank y'all all for jumping in with me, having fun, talking sports with me. My man's 9 Drinks jumped in. Easy Does It says, thanks for the stream. Appreciate you for joining us and being a part of the stream. Hopefully y'all jump in here. I try to open it up, and I got a timer waited for when I get a lot of people that come in. I'll put a timer up so we can get people in and get them out. But I just enjoy talking community with people, and I'm going to start doing more community conversations in Discord. I'm going to try to do the Twitter thing. But Twitter is like
don't bother do Twitter. It's just never mind. We can just wait the stream.
Yeah, it's just weird. But the Discord is dope. So if you're in there, hop in there, have fun. Now, here's what I gotta say, people. Again, I could be batshit crazy about all my takes. I'm just trying to really figure out what is the pattern here. And in order for you to figure out the pattern, you have to be willing to make a few hypotheses that could be wrong. It is what it is. Today's positive quote comes from the internet because I have no clue who said this, but I felt like it was on my heart to say it. It says, you can forgive some people without welcoming them back into your life. Apology can be accepted. Access should be denied. Woo, boy, some of y'all are so sweet. Y'all is just, you're just so giving. You don't mind giving people all the best parts of you. But the moment somebody dare crosses you, now you want to protect your peace. What about the times when they told you who they were and you didn't believe them? What about the times where people gave you sign at the sign that they were going to let you down and you just kept believing that they were going to be better? You need to protect your peace at all costs. And if that means that you don't have to have relationships with certain people, then so be it. The world is not designed for every person that come into your life to be a root. Some people are simply leaves. They fall off away from you and on to the next, and that's good for your life lessons because that means a new leaf can now attach itself to your glory. And when you allow people to suck all the best parts out of you, to take all the things that make you special, that make you different, that make you find yourself becoming someone else because their attitude, ego, or whatever the emotion that they're having draws you out of yourself. Rather than do that, simply accept their apology and deny their access. They don't get to know the best parts of you. They can only guess what you are and make assumptions to who you've become and simply watch from the sideline as a spectator because the access that you gave to them was a privilege, not a right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. And if you have not checked out one of my podcasts that I was listening to in the car today because I was trying to figure out what's going on with one of these bubble episodes that I'm a little bit behind on. Don't you dare judge me, Drew. See the smile on your freaking face. Please do so. Check it out. And if you are not for sure about how you can get your college feed or just some raw material, definitely check out my man Anthony on RachelMarieSports UK. And without no further ado, here's the final thought. Don't be no chump. Please do your research. We are out.